Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to MKB. Welcome back to Mellow Knows Ball. Now, I think this video is very ironic simply for the fact that in the last video, I was discussing how Liverpool were just dominant, they're looking scary and everything like that, and the way they just dominated a London club. And now we're looking at today, Liverpool versus Arsenal, and now we're looking at a different London club completely dominating Liverpool. Now, before we get into it, obviously, I'd like you guys to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment down below. But yeah, Arsenal 3, Liverpool 1. Now I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that type of result. I didn't expect Liverpool to get dominated the way they did, considering the form they've been on, and considering already their record against Arsenal this season. I don't think Arsenal had won a game against Liverpool so far this season. I think they lost at Anfield and they lost also in the FA Cup. So Liverpool already had a couple wins against them this season. But the way Arsenal won this game, dang, man. Dang. So let's start off, right? Before we start looking at the players and everything, let's look at the game and how everything unfolded. Firstly, we look at the first goal that went in. Obviously, firstly, I also need to commend Kai Havertz in this game. Kai Havertz played very well. And even for that first goal, Kai Havertz was kind of the one who kind of like drew Van Dijk in, which kind of left the space in the defense. And then Martin Odegaard was able to play the pass in for Kai Havertz and made that run. Obviously didn't score the goal, but then obviously Alisson saved it and then it fell into Bukayo Saka, and Saka scored the goal, making it 1-0. So already in that goal alone was kind of like it was I feel like defensively there was a lapse of concentration, but to be honest, at that point Arsenal kind of deserved the goal because of just how much they were dominating the game at that point. Like, they were all over Liverpool. Like, Liverpool had no chance in those first couple of minutes. And then after that, again, Liverpool were not really into the game as much at this point yet. Arsenal was still kind of dominating, and then we lead to somewhere close to the end of the half. I think it was around the 46th minute, 47th minute. And then we have a situation where a ball gets past Luis Diaz, he runs onto it, and then obviously William Saliba tries to shield the ball away from Luis Diaz so that Raya could come and collect the ball, but then there was a miscommunication between the two players, and then obviously Luis Diaz kind of just shoots and then it bounces off Gabriel from his hand and it goes in as an own goal. So at that point, Liverpool, I think, obviously got the goal, making it 1-1 just before halftime. And at this point, Liverpool still didn't really have a shot on targets, right? Then we enter the second half. At this point, Liverpool kind of come out guns blazing. They made a couple of substitutions and they were kind of dominating the game at this point. They were kind of like really going out there trying to win the game and everything like that. And then their momentum kind of slowed down. And then again, Arsenal kind of started getting possession, started dominating the game a bit more. And then obviously we get that pass that went over, going to Martinelli. Martinelli was kind of just chasing after that ball, really just hoping for something. And then obviously Van Dijk, I personally think Van Dijk shielded the ball pretty well. But then Alisson, whatever he was doing, I don't even know what he was doing at that point. He kind of like ran out and tried to kick the ball, but completely missed it. And then it was an open goal for Martinelli, making it 2-1. Then obviously he got subbed off. Trossard comes in. Again, the game really, Liverpool really didn't create much. They had a couple shots here and there, but nothing really worthwhile. And then eventually, Trossard kind of like gets the ball on the left-hand side of the pitch, dribbles past the player, and then runs completely with the ball. No, didn't really have any support whatsoever, but completely ran with the ball. And then eventually he just shoots, gets a little deflection, then goes beneath Alisson's legs, making it 3-1. And that's how the game ends. Now, we may look at 3-1 and be like, yeah, Arsenal dominated, but I don't think that scoreline justifies the quality of chances that were created on the pitch, right? I don't think it justifies that. But I do think that Arsenal was the team that deserved to win that game because Arsenal dominated, Arsenal played better. And it's very weird considering, again, the form that Liverpool was going into this game. You would think that Liverpool were the favourites, right? But they just they just didn't create anything. They just didn't do much. I mean, the fact that I think McAllister had like 5 shots, like long range shots outside the box, which really didn't lead to much, really speaks of how they weren't really able to really create that many chances. And to be honest, right, heading into this game, Arsenal needed to win this game, right? Arsenal was the team with the biggest chip on their shoulder, because obviously looking at last season, how they were top of the table for so long and then eventually bottled it at the end. This was a game where they had to be like, are you guys title contenders or are you guys title pretenders? This was the game where Arsenal needed to step up, and that's what they did. The players that stepped up, Gabriel Martinelli, respect. My friends know that I'm not the biggest Martinelli fan, right? But I give my props to where props are due, and Martinelli played unbelievable in that Liverpool game. He was a constant threat for Liverpool. On that left-hand side, he was a constant threat. And I was even surprised when Arteta took him out, because I thought he was if anyone was going to score another goal, it was Martinelli. So, constant threat over and over again. Ben White had a brilliant game, amazing game from Ben White, solid performance defensively. I think it was really good. His distribution is very good. Declan Rice, again, the amount of times Declan Rice won the ball in midfield is insane. It's honestly insane. Like, what a performance from him. What a performance. Again, it's just really proving that he is one of the best signings this season. One of the best, he was just brilliant. Bukayo Saka, quiet game, but I mean, he got the goal eventually. Odegaard, decent game. Kai Havertz, I gotta give him props for this game. Kai Havertz played a really good game. I was very surprised. I mean, the amount of times he was just challenging for the ball, he was really making it difficult for the Liverpool defense. The amount of time, I think the amount of players that got booked because of Kai Havertz really just challenging for the ball. I think Konate obviously got that red card because I think he made foul challenges on Kai Havertz twice, and then he got the red card eventually. So I think Kai Havertz was very good in that game. Trossard, when he came on, obviously got the goal. He looked very lively. It was really good. And again, this is a big moment for Liverpool. I mean, not for Arsenal, because they really needed this. Arsenal needed this to really show that they're contending for the title. And I think now they're like 2 points away from Liverpool. So yeah, it's looking like it might become a 3-horse race here, because obviously Man City are only behind by like 5 points, but they have 2 games in hand. So if they win their following games, they're going to be level on points with Liverpool. Depending on the goal difference in that situation, Man City might be top, right? But with Arsenal only 2 points away from Liverpool at the moment, hey, I think they can start dreaming. I think they can start dreaming and start thinking to themselves, you know what? We're challenging now. We're challenging. We're showing that last season was not just a fluke, and we're in this. Now, I also want to go on to Liverpool side of things now. This game, what happened to them? Like, I don't understand what happened to Liverpool in this game. Like, I don't know. I feel like they kind of lacked that threat up front. They weren't really creating chances where I felt like they were clear cuts. They weren't really very good in midfield, I feel. I don't know. And there was even a decision when I saw Klopp take out Trent Alexander-Arnold. I don't really think that was the best idea, because in a game like that where you need creativity, I feel like you need to leave Trent in the game, right? Because if anyone's going to create something for you, it's probably Trent Alexander-Arnold. But then he took him off, but I didn't understand that decision. It wasn't a good game, and the amount of mistakes they made. I mean, all the goals that they conceded really come from mistakes, really, because the first one, defensively, I think they kind of like, I feel like defensively they kind of went to sleep for that goal where Odegaard was able to sleep in Kai Havertz. They were kind of like sleeping for that goal. And then obviously the second goal where Alisson completely missed the ball, which was very disappointing from a goalkeeper of Alisson's caliber to completely miss the ball in that way. And then the last one, where Trossard kind of just ran through all by himself with no one really challenging him. I mean, yeah, they were running back, but really he had so much space to kind of just like, he had the opportunity to look up, see that there's no one to pass to and be like, you know what, I'm just going to go for a shot. And then he went underneath Alisson's legs for the goal. So really it was a very poor performance from Liverpool's point of view. They could have done better, and that was not a good performance from their side. But I mean, again, you still expect them to be favorites. You still expect them to be up there in about challenging for the title. So, but at the moment, it definitely is looking like a three-horse race, and I'm very excited to see how this is going to end. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be an interesting game. Interesting season. We're going to have to see, especially once, because obviously Liverpool will be playing Carabao Cup games, still a couple FA Cup games. Champions League's going to come around for all the teams right now. So we're going to see how all the teams are going to be able to cope with this. Obviously, we know that Liverpool and Manchester City are able to cope with all those amounts of games. We've seen them. They've been there. They've done that. We're going to have to see if Arsenal's going to be able to cope, right? Because with Champions League games coming back, then they're going to be able to prioritize which games they're going to be playing. Also, Bukayo Saka went out with an injury in that game. We don't know if it's serious yet, but that is a big injury because he's one of their main players, the star boy. So that's another big person who's going to be missing in that team. So we're just going to have to see. Again, this was already a good step for Arsenal in terms of showing that they're challenging for the title. But we're just going to have to see if they're going to be able to carry on pushing forward. We're going to have to see if they're going to be able to keep grinding out those results to challenge for the title. So yeah, that's me. That's my thoughts on the game. We're just going to have to see how everything turns out. And yeah, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. Comment down below if you believe that Arsenal might be challenging for the title. Who knows, maybe if they might even win. You know what I'm saying? Hit that bell for any post notifications. And yeah, that's where I'm going to be leaving this video. Peace out.